Will Hezbollah end its war on Israel's people? The governments of Israel and Lebanon announced a ceasefire. But Israel wasn't under attack from Lebanon's government. It was under attack from Hezbollah, Iran's proxy army in Lebanon. One day after Hamas's October 7th massacre, Hezbollah attacked Israel. Hezbollah fired 17,000 Iranian rockets, missiles, and drones at Israel's people. Hezbollah and their Iranian overlords said they were targeting civilians. And they did. Hezbollah murdered 12 Arabic-speaking children playing soccer in northern of Israel. Hezbollah aimed guided missiles at homes in Israel's villages. More than 60,000 Israelis were forced to flee their homes because Hezbollah was trying to murder them. Israel hasn't yet said it's safe for them to return. That's why Israel acted. Israel eliminated Hezbollah commanders in precise operations, pagers, and radios. Israel eliminated Hezbollah's leader, his replacement, and his replacement. His replacement, by the way, fled to Iran. Israel degraded the 200,000 rockets and missiles Hezbollah had aimed at our cities. Israel demolished Hezbollah's massive fortifications on our border. Israel achieved a 1-48 ratio in fighting Hezbollah. And most importantly, Israel prevented Hezbollah's plan to do their own October 7th massacre. But much, much worse. Now Israel is watching. Will what's left of Hezbollah lay down its arms, or will Hezbollah keep trying to kill us? This morning, Hezbollah began testing Israel, sending terrorists up to Israel's positions. Israel's troops fired on them. Israel acted. Because it's crucial that Israel have freedom of action. Israel demands freedom of action in Lebanon today to prevent war tomorrow. There is a ceasefire today, but it cannot be a ceasefire that allows Hezbollah to rebuild, rearm, and make war again tomorrow. Israel is giving a chance to what's left of Iran's terror army in Lebanon to understand that it lost. Israel is giving the government of Lebanon a chance to disarm Hezbollah. If Hezbollah approaches Israel's border, digs a tunnel, or gets more Iranians' weapons, then Israel will act. On October 6th, there was no ceasefire in Lebanon. Hezbollah was supposed to disarm and stay away from Israel's border. UN forces were supposed to help disarm Hezbollah. The UN did not do its job. That's why Hezbollah was strong enough to start a war. Israel will not return to October 6. If Hezbollah again breaks the rules, then Israel will act. My family fled Lebanon, but they didn't flee Lebanon's government. We fled Hezbollah. Hezbollah is not Lebanon. Israel is not at war with Lebanon. We can see where Israel struck, Hezbollah's strongholds in Shia villages or Beirut's Dahya neighborhood, and where Israel did not strike. Hezbollah is Iran's terror army in Lebanon. Hezbollah made war on Israel. Hezbollah oppressed and still oppresses and murders Lebanese people in order to fight Iran's war on Israel's people. Israel and Lebanon should be at peace. Hezbollah held Lebanon hostage for Iran. Many in Lebanon are unhappy about the ceasefire. They want Israel to free them from Hezbollah. Israel has loosened Lebanon's shackles. Israel has weakened Lebanon's Hezbollah jailers. Will Lebanon's people be able to seize the moment and break free? Now let's take some questions from our audience watching live on social media.
Thank you, Jonathan. This is from Layla on Instagram. How is the ceasefire different from that of 2006?
Layla, it's a really important question. At the end of the day, what we're seeing now different than the 2006 war is two different main things. One, Hezbollah is much more in a worse condition than it was in 2006. Israel was able to eliminate its leaders, to eliminate a lot of their infrastructure, a lot of their tunnels, a lot of their guided missiles, and a lot of their weaponry holdings. At the end of the day, Hezbollah is way more weak than it was pre-2006. And another thing, the Lebanese people understand today that Israel's war is not against Lebanon and not against the Lebanese people. That's why we've seen that as many as possible, Israel was trying to prevent itself from harming or hitting any Lebanese territory. And that's where the strengths come for the Lebanese people to understand that they need to be now responsible. It is the same agreement as in 2006, the 1701 resolution. But at the end of the day, what is different is that Hezbollah opposed the 1701 UN resolution in 2006. They said that the Lebanese government are traitors to Lebanon because they agreed to disarm Hezbollah. But guess what? Hezbollah is the one that now is demanding to amplify Resolution 1701. Hezbollah were the ones that actually pushed for to separate the fronts between Gaza and Lebanon, and at the end of the day, demanded and begged for a ceasefire. And this is what we're seeing today, different than it was back then.
This is another question we received on Instagram. What will ensure that Hezbollah will not rearm itself and just use this period to reorganize?
This is Israel's mission now to make sure that Hezbollah will not rearm and regain. That's why Israel is demanding to have freedom of action in Lebanon if they will see that Hezbollah are trying to rearm again. But this is where the Lebanese government needs to step in. This is a huge turning point for Lebanon. This is a huge turning point for the Lebanese people to now take action and make sure that everything that is still in Lebanon on Hezbollah's beholding, that they will be disarmed 100% from their weaponry. Israel has gave them on a platter of gold an option to free Lebanon from Hezbollah's holding. And I really hope and I really call my fellow Lebanese people to take action at this time, not in igniting a civil war, not in fighting in physical fight, but to make sure that the Lebanese government will have true leaders to make sure that Hezbollah will not rearm again and continue to drag Lebanon into wars that has nothing to do with any Lebanese cause. Israel and Lebanon should have had peace on 17th of May 1983, and the Lebanese president back then, Amin Gemayel, missed that chance. One of the reasons was because his life was threatened because Syria was still really holding a lot of the Lebanese territories. But now we're in a completely different situation. The Lebanese people understand that their fight is not against Israel and Israel's fight is not against the Lebanese. That's why this is the chance that we need to collaborate with each other. Our end mission is not to just have this agreement to stay as a ceasefire agreement. We want peace between Lebanon and Israel.
This question is from YouTube. Have you seen the chaotic scenes of people returning to southern Lebanon? And are those people Hezbollah? And if they are they already breaking the ceasefire?
Well, we've seen two occasions this morning of Hezbollah people that are coming closer to the border or coming closer to Israeli troops and the IDF responding back near them in order to make them leave the scene or push away from their positions. This is something that we're going to follow in the upcoming days. Israel is really looking to check how the scenery is going to become. I've seen a lot of these images also from places going back to Adahya in Beirut and also to southern Lebanon. At the end of the day, the villages that were hit because they had so much Hezbollah infrastructure were the Shia community. And it's unfortunate for me to say that, but a lot of the Shia community in Lebanon still supports Hezbollah till today. And that's something that I believe that they need to understand. This is something that we don't want to be in fight in. Those homes that were ruined today because Hezbollah used them in order to attack Israel and in order to build tunnels underneath them, they can't return to the same situation that was before the war started. And this is, I think, our day of question, what's going to happen next? And I hope that the people of Lebanon will understand that it's in their interest not to let Hezbollah rebuild again the infrastructure in their homes, in their towns, and underneath their villages. And this is something that will also be a question to the Lebanese government and the Lebanese military if they will enforce, like they promised they do, that Hezbollah will not rearm again.
Thank you. This is our last question from our Instagram stories. How can we ensure that this is the last war that we have with Lebanon?
This is what I hope for, by the way, that it will be the last war because we are all sick of wars. With all the Lebanese people that I speak with all the Israeli people that I speak with, we're all sick of wars. We have been all under this threat for too long, and it's about time that we will be able to live our lives. Lebanon is really in a worse condition, not because of the war, but also because Hezbollah dragged Lebanon through the mud because they wanted to serve the Islamic Republic of Iran interests. Lebanon is in a huge economic crisis. There's an estimated 12 billion losses to Lebanon only in the last few months because of the war. And I really hope that we will both understand that in war, no one actually wins. And when we have peace, we can be able to prosper and cherish all together. This is what I really hope for. This is what could boost the Lebanese economy. This is what could boost also Israeli good relations with Lebanon. And I really hope that this will be our last war. This is what we are all looking for and wanting to have. And I really, this is kind of me wishing that the true leaders of Lebanon, the true the freedom fighters of Lebanon will understand that they want to liberate Lebanon once and for all. The 22nd of September, Lebanon had its Independence Day. I really hope that next year, the Independence Day would be the most glorious Independence Day for Lebanon, that it will finally be able to be liberated from the Islamic Republic of Iran's holding and from Hezbollah's weapon, for all of our good. Thank you very much for watching us. We'd also like to remind you, Giving Tuesday is less than 1 week away. To help support our mission, please visit our website or go to the Giving Tuesday link across our social media. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Israel time and 8 a.m. East Coast time.